Hey friends, Kelsey here. I'm so pumped to talk to you guys today. I'm coming to you guys with my little weekly video that I do based off of questions that I get from all of you guys on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook throughout the week. And what I decided to do is, take those questions that people that are always in my DMs on like what I'm doing, how I'm navigating certain things, or what's working for me. And I want to bring it to you guys on platforms that I believe that could be useful to you. Just so you know, I'm no expert. I'm just a new mom trying to figure it out. And I say that on every single video because it's so important. I don't want you guys thinking that like I'm promoting certain different products. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm not here to, push you guys to buy anything. I'm just literally here to tell you what's been working for us, and hopefully it could be beneficial to you too. Now, with that being said, today's topic is the things, like I said, that I like to have in our room next to my bed while she is sleeping that have made my life significantly easier. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I like to get straight to the point. And obviously, like we talked about before, there's no fancy videos. I just record it, I upload it, and there you go. Take it or leave it. Now, with that being said, we have had a relatively incredible experience in regard to the sleep department. This is not going to be a video about sleep training because that's going to be for another day. We're still navigating that. But I will say that our daughter we haven't had this horrific, knock on wood, experience in regard to the sleeping department. It's all been relatively normal. 3 hours, feed, go back to sleep. 3 hours, feed, go back to sleep. It's exhausting. Absolutely. The first couple weeks were definitely super rough. But she's starting to get to the point now that she's almost 6 weeks old where she's going for 4 to 5 hour stretches. She stays up for like anywhere from 40 to 60 minutes between those stretches, which we're working on. And she's allowing us to at least get anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, which has been life-changing. So like I said, this isn't a video on that, but I will. We are doing some sleep training stuff right now, and I'm more than happy to share what we learned once we finish. But again, I am one of those people that bring you the information once I assess what's working for us, not what's not working for us. So we're on the right track. It's to come, but today I want to talk to you guys about what's made my life easier. So we live in a 2-story home. So going downstairs, going back up to grab things, just isn't the best thing. Obviously, her room is on the same level as us. She's not sleeping in her room yet. She's sleeping next to us. So without saying, a bassinet is obviously the best bet. We have the Dockatot. These are not included in my 5. We have the Dockatot, which actually goes into the bassinet, which she's been sleeping super well in. And that's been amazing for us. So for those of you that have sent me messages asking me about the Dockatot specifically, I would definitely recommend it. It makes them a little more snug. It's definitely worth the money. I got lucky. My sister had her son 10 months before us, so we actually got to inherit a lot of the stuff that she was using. But I would say that I would have gone out and bought the Dockatot on my own. It's definitely worth it. Just to have that little extra comfort on the side makes them feel a little bit more like they're back in the womb. So yeah, she sleeps next to us in a bassinet in a Dockatot. Okay, so that's kind of the setup we have here. I want to preface this also by saying that I am not breastfeeding. So this is this is going to be targeted more toward a woman who, there are some things that I want you all to use, but there's going to be one of these things I talk about that I use that is kind of you might think is kind of weird, but it's been super helpful for me since I'm not breastfeeding. So yeah, so first things first, number one, this is gonna be the shortest one, so I'm gonna start with this. The number one thing that I have to have next to my bed every single night before she goes to sleep is a binky. Okay, I don't know if you guys are all using binkies yet, but Sutton is using binkies. My daughter is. She started using binkies in the first couple days of her life, and she loves them. They soothe her. There's nothing wrong with binkies. Don't blow me up saying that she shouldn't be having a binky. That's not what these are for. This is for what's working for us, okay? And so binkies have been lifesavers for us. They pacify her, it calms her down, and she doesn't really like scream, wail, again, I'm knocking on wood, during the night at all. But whenever she starts getting a little agitated and we're trying to get her down, or she wants some soothing and we're trying to go through the sleep process with her, having a binky right next to my bed and being able to just kind of put my arm in there so she's not looking at my face and waking up and getting distracted, putting my arm in there, putting it in her mouth, putting my hand on her stomach so she falls back asleep. These have been life-changing. There's a couple different types of binkies. The Nooks, N-U-K, are what's working for us. She does not do well yet with like those soothing ones. I'm trying to see if I have one up here. I don't think I do. But you know, like the ones where like you can like see in their mouth, like I think, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here they are. See, I told you, this is just impromptu. These ones, these soothy ones where like she's not doing really well with those right now. What really does work right now are these ones, the Nooks, these types of binkies. She has 2 that she goes through. I bought a ton of those soothy things thinking that those were going to be my saving grace. She doesn't like them that much. She likes these. So there's that, guys. That's the number one thing. It helps me. It gets her calmed down, and she always falls asleep with it in her mouth. And then it like just kind of like, and I just put it back to the side whenever she falls back to sleep. So that's the number one thing that I like to have next to our bed before when she goes to sleep. Number 2 thing that is a non-negotiable for me for nighttime sleep that eases my mind is the owlet sock. This has been by far my favorite purchase throughout this entire new baby process. And it's not cheap. I'm going to just preface that by saying that it's not cheap, but with that being said, it is 1000% calm my nerves so much when it comes down to her sleeping. So basically all this is you put this on their foot. You wrap it around and then it goes around their ankle. And what it does is it tracks a couple different things, their heart rate throughout the night, their oxygen levels, and it also tracks their sleep. So the beauty about it is that if anything goes under what it should be, then an alarm would go off. The alarm goes off on the monitor that's attached to it, and an alarm would go off on my cell phone. So it gives me that sense of peace knowing, okay, her oxygen levels are amazing all night, her heart rate is staying normal, and I can track her sleep patterns. So this has been such a peace of mind. Again, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm saying that this is something that's been extremely, extremely important for me and my husband. It brings a lot of sense and security. A lot of you ask me if I put this on her during the day. I'm holding this and I'm recording this during the day. No, I just put this on her at night. Right now, I will be whenever she's napping, like in her room. Right now, she just naps downstairs. If we're downstairs, she's always relatively close to us. Once we start bringing her back up in here into the nursery and she's napping here, then yes, I'll put this back on her foot during naps. So that way I'm obviously keeping track of it. Right now I'm not, but it is on all night long. It tracks everything and it has been such a game changer and such a peace of mind to me. 1000% the number 2 thing that I would say is a non-negotiable when it comes down to what I need to have in my room before bed. So binky, owlet sock. Number 3 thing that's been a game changer. It's so simple. Changing pad covers. You might think that these are just for putting on top of like your changing pad or your changing tables. We have a changing table in her room. We have a changing table downstairs on the pack and play. But I always keep one of these next to my bed because whenever I'm exhausted in the middle of the night, I'm not really trying to get up and get out of bed, go into the nursery, turn on the lights and wake her up and do all the things. Just having this next to my bed, whenever she wakes up and it's time to change her, just so you guys know, I mean, it's pretty much common sense, but so you know, there's diapers and wipes next to my bed too. We have like at the bottom of the bassinet, there's a little basket that I keep those things in. But this specifically, I just put this on my bed. I sit up, take her out of the bassinet, and I change her on my bed. That way, if she has an accident, it's not going on my bed. And that way, I don't have to get up and like turn the lights on everywhere, wake her up, and just cause all this issue. Having this all in one spot and being able to change her diapers from bed is better for both of us. It's just, you're exhausted in the middle of the night, clearly. You don't want to have to keep getting up and doing all the things. So having just this right next to me with a couple diapers a night, I usually put 3 diapers, or I have a whole pack of diapers underneath there, but like, if you don't want to have a whole pack of diapers and a big thing of wipes, I do 1 thing of wipes and I have, the pack of diapers. You can do like 2 or 3, depending on how much your baby goes in the middle of the night. And yeah, so changing pad cover, it's simple, but it's amazing. Okay, next thing, swaddle. Okay, so for the longest time, I use the Swaddle Me's. So we have like 3 or 4 of them that we rotate through. You can get these at anywhere. I think Walmart, Target, Amazon, whatever's easiest for you guys. But there's a couple different swaddles that people use. These ones we found are working best for us right now. With that being said, they're Velcro, and they're super easy to put them in. The thing is, and what we were learning as we're going through the sleep training, and again, like I said, that's gonna be for another video, is that the babies have this startle reflex that their arms will wake them up. And at the beginning, when Seton was first born, we realized she did not like her arms swaddled. So for the first like week and a half, I just kept her arms out of the swaddle. And the other swaddles, like the ones that are like more like blankets, she would just break out of. So in the morning, I'd wake up and her arms would be like this, every time. So these right here, these keep her in. And when I realized that startle reflex is what kept waking her up, we really worked to get her used to putting her arms back in. She didn't like it for the first couple of days. Now she's used to it again. And it comforts them. It makes them feel like they're back in the womb. Again, I highly recommend, if you're not having a baby sleep very long at all, at least make sure that they're swaddled. That's one of my biggest things that I've learned from my experience. These have been great. They're tight. They will last. These small ones will last, I think, up until like 16 pounds, and then you can transition. There's like a medium large one too, that you can use later. But these have been wonderful for us. We use these every single night. We even use them during nap time. So when we see her starting to fall asleep, getting a little tired, we swaddle her back up, and she's actually napping right now. She's in another one. We swaddle her back up and we will put her down for a nap. So swaddle, extremely, extremely important in regard to what I have to have in my room for nighttime routines. So last but not least, and this is going to be a weird one, and like I said, this is more for people that are not breastfeeding, if you're formula feeding. So again, we live in a 2-story house. Again, I'm not trying to continue to get up and like all night long whenever my baby's waking up. She's right next to me in the bassinet. So, the Yeti thermos. You're like, why do you need this? So before bed, we have a formula we keep upstairs in our room, and we have formula downstairs for during the day. So every night I will pack up 3 bottles, and I pack up this thermos, and I will heat up water to like lukewarm, which is what they should be, not hot, but I'm not going to give you all the facts on what temperature it should be, but it's at the temperature it should be, and it goes into this Yeti thermos. And that way, and it's right next to my bed on my nightstand. And again, I don't have to get up in the middle of the night. Whenever she wakes up, I can reach over, I can pick her up, I can screw this thing off, take a bottle. This stays warm all night. Put it into the bottle, mix the formula that's already there and ready to go, shake it all up, and then feed my baby. And I don't have to wake up. And then that's the beauty of it. So honestly, having something like this, and the Yeti keeps it warm all night. I always test it. We have the bottles, like share if it's too hot. They're never too hot. I always test it on my arm. I do all the things. It stays warm all night for her. And just by keeping it in this, I would highly recommend, if you're formula feeding and you don't want to keep getting up and down every single night, because we don't have that accessibility, right? Like, you really want to, I would say, get as prepared as you possibly can just by using this. So then obviously, you can change her with your changing pad. You don't have to get up. You don't have to get out of bed. And that's been making my life so much easier. I don't even get out of bed. The only time I get out of bed at night is to go to the bathroom myself, if I have to go to the bathroom. So there you go. So my 5 things, recapping, to share that has been really beneficial, and I'll give you a couple other things that I like, but they didn't make my top 5. Binky, game changer. We use the Nook Binkies. 2, Owlet sock, by far my number 1 favorite purchase. Such a game changer in regard to my sanity, keeping me calm throughout the night, making sure the baby's good and safe. Changing pad cover. Next, obviously, making sure that you have diapers and wipes. That way you don't have to get up. There's no point in having this if you don't have the diapers and wipes. It's just, you're going to stare at it. Oh, another thing. No, I'll say that in a second. Swaddle, very important. And then the Yeti thermos is going to be really helpful in making sure that you can just do your feedings from bed. A couple other things that have been wonderful that are a couple other things I would just say bonus. One, burp rag. Obviously, you want to have a burp rag underneath or in storage or on your nightstand for whenever you do those nighttime feedings. The Hatch sound machine has been wonderful for us. We put it on the darkest light possible. So the red one is what we use. And then we use the white noise, and we keep it on all night next to the bed. She sleeps great with that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I keep next to our bed other than my top 5. But yeah, the sound machine, the diapers, the wipes, and the burp rag is pretty much it. And then once you have that all set up, it's the same routine every single night. Like if you're formula feeding like we are, having its own formula, your own formula up there, so you're not like, carrying up the formula every single night is great. There's this little thing that I do where I pre-measure out the formula. There's I got it on Amazon. I don't have it up here with me as I'm recording this, but I can link it for you guys. Where you can pre-measure out the formula, screw off the cap, and then dump it into the bottle. So you're not, if you don't want to have a formula up there too. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you have any, like I always say, if you have anything else you'd like me to talk about or share with you, I am always here to serve. I'm here to help. Not an expert, not a Pinterest mom, not an Instagram mom, just a person that's trying to figure it out. Okay? Love you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully this is helpful. Talk to you soon.